when that scandal that Madison Cawthorn hinted at dropped, even here in this movement, you could look at that and say, like, we understand this. Like, we execute politics and are subject to these same pressures, but at a lower level, but it scales, right? That's how you know this thing has legs. Like, all the issues that you see happen, the fighting and guys peeling off and, turning around and combating it, like, it totally comports with the reality of national level politics and, like, literal statecraft. It's preparing you guys for the vicious knife party in the Beltway that's awaiting. And TPUSA doesn't do that at all. Like, even the JV institutions of the Republican Party are not going to prepare young people for real politic as well as just being part of AF through watching cozy TV will. It's remarkable.
Dude, it's a trial by fire here. And, like, people think that, like, sometimes we're rough on our chat, or if we're rough on the fans or whatever. Dude, and I've said this for a long time. It's like, dude, if you can't handle being roasted by me on a live stream, like, how the hell do you think you're going to be prepared to handle, like, national scale politics where you have, like, shadow corporations literally blackmailing you and being like, we got pictures of you holding this girl's hand and we'll, like, get you divorced if you don't, like, try to pass this bill or whatever. You know what I mean? It's like,
yeah, and I see you guys execute these investigations all the time. Like you were just referring to the Ultros one. That's such a political reality. Like, what the fuck caused this breach to happen, right? This split. And as you get into it, there's not always ever a single cause. Like guys arguing over the Civil War, the argument stems from whether or not it was slavery rather than them talking about the confluence of all these contributing factors, right? The preponderance of the evidence. One piece of evidence is like that, Jaden is getting closer to a girl, or that he's feeling unfulfilled, or, the fact that he might have to start doing things is something he doesn't want to do, whatever. But then you throw in this financial incentive, and then you're being led around by a mysterious donor who has a type, right? That was the creepiest part, was who he was attracted to. And you see this effect too, like out on normie YouTube, where this mass viewer phenomenon funding these like families or these content creators, they just treat them like a Barbie doll, right? They like move them into a mansion or like buy them a new car. They make them ultra wealthy so they can continue to watch and like consume their life. When you have somebody who has enough money to just singularly fund a content creator on their own, you see that the ultimate outcome of a trap like this, right? Where at least when he was over here, a streamer has the ability to garner not just the donations of a single person, but also the support of an entire audience. And then when, that same donor is part of inducing him away from the platform, now he's totally relying on him. And that's probably what the guy wanted all along. He didn't want to share him with Smeagol Fan. He didn't want to share him with Buss and Boots and Boogly Woogly, That's what's so fucked up is he finally, he started high. That's what he used Instagram for, was to find, I can't remember the guy's name, Troye Sivan or something, who's like a legit pop star, right? You can never own this guy. He has more money than Ultros. But you find someone similar enough, right? And cheap enough. And then you work your way in and you own them entirely now. And it's like, dude, that's such a perfect allegory for funding in politics and how people are perverted, subverted, treated, and kind of moved in on by people who are subversive enough and sociopathic enough to kind of sense their weakness and their animosity and leverage it, right? And expand upon it. Oh, are you just going to let him say that to you, King? I can't believe you let him treat you like, there's a million ways to cut it.